Welcome to the online module, Writing Aims and Goals SMARTAR for children and students at special schools and special units or classes. My name is Swati and I'm the project officer for the One Plan team.
And my name is Rachel, and I'm the Project Officer for Learning Difficulties and responsible for ABLESA.
The intention of this overview is to build on your current understanding of personalized learning as related to the children you teach. You will also develop an understanding of personalized aims and goals SMARTAR that align with ABLESA, where the levels lead to the reception, that is Foundation Year Achievement Standard, and you will see the process through the example of John. This case study provides detailed information about John, who is a young person in care. This information will support the personalized learning process during which you will develop a plan rationale, determine growth points, and write aims and goals SMARTAR for John. This example will be used to demonstrate the process of personalized learning using ABLESA through the One Plan screens. This diagram represents the cyclical nature of the personalized learning process. The student is at the center of this process. We gather information about the student's strengths, interests, motivations, and aspirations from the perspective of all relevant partners collaborating in the learning plan. We start to build on our current understanding of the One Plan personalized learning process for John. We accomplish this by keeping the student at the center of the process. We listen to the student's voice for their strengths, interests, motivations, and aspirations to engage them with their learning. We identify their learning needs using the evidence from multiple data sources such as the student background screen, family voice, observations, as well as professional and curriculum assessments. In John's case, we assess his learning needs using ABLESA.
ABLESA has been ratified by ACARA for use as a curriculum that leads to the reception foundation year in South Australia. ABLESA assists the educators to align personalised goals for those students who may be working within the levels leading to reception, which is the Foundation Year Achievement Standard. The information on this slide will assist you to recognise the steps undertaken for personalised learning with the ABLESA. As John is working within the levels that lead to Reception Foundation Year Achievement Standard, you may use ABLESA to assess John's entry point into the curriculum and identify the learning priorities for his personalised One Plan.
Here you can view the teacher's perspective about John's strengths, interests, motivations, and the teacher's aspirations for John. We also recommend collecting the student's own perspective along with the family's voice. To gather information from the student about their strengths, interests, motivations, and aspirations, you may want to use visuals and AAC devices such as Proloquo2Go or Pod, which can support student communication. You may want to ask focused questions such as, what are you really good at for strengths? What do you like to do in your free time to find out about interests? What would you like to do after finishing your work? This will guide you to the motivations. And what do you want to learn to find out about aspirations? This slide demonstrates how gathered evidence and information is recorded in the One Plan, which provides John with the best opportunities to develop his skills as a learner. You will see in the John exemplar on the intranet that John requires support for communication, socialization, and daily living skills. John's teacher will use the information gathered to inform the learning priorities, aims, and goals SMARTAR. These observations and a range of information mentioned earlier will help you in your analysis of the student learning. You will then be able to develop aims and goals smarter and design appropriate learning experiences to support the student's learning needs. After you have identified the learning needs for your student, you may record a planned rationale using a positive, strength-based approach focusing on skills, capabilities, dispositions, and content knowledge to be developed. In this slide, you can view the plan rationale for John has a focus on functional communication and making independent choices about daily routines and wider community activities.
The evidence gathered about John's learning needs informs you that John needs to develop functional communication skills along with functional numeracy and living skills. To develop personalised aims and goals smarter, we refer to ABLESA. There are 4 steps to this process. Assess your student. 2, produce a learning readiness report to identify the entry point. 3, select the relevant learning area from the guidance materials. And 4, identify the learning priorities. You can view the learning readiness report in this slide. The black bar on the rocket indicates John's level of achievement at this time. The nutshell statements on either side of the rocket indicate incremental skill development. The readiness report also indicates that John is achieving at ABLESA Level C for English, speaking and listening. The first paragraph indicates what John can do. The second paragraph further clarifies the nutshell statements and indicates the direction of future learning priorities or the level John will be working towards. You refer to the relevant curriculum document from the guidance material. To refine the learning priority, you select the appropriate strand, substrand, and content description.
The ABLESA prompted headings will be located within the help link, which support teachers to record curriculum information in the literacy, numeracy, and social personal fields as seen in this example. This information documents the entry point and learning priorities that inform the aims and goals SMARTAR. The growth points are a brief summary which explain the curriculum intent that is recorded in the learning priorities within the literacy, numeracy, and social personal fields. It is recommended that the growth points be limited to 3 to 5 with at least 1 for each field. The content descriptions may support you to develop a broad aim. You may copy it as an aim and then personalize it to the student's context by editing it. The broad aim may be for the duration of the yearly one plan, with associated short-term SMARTAR goals aligned to them. This slide demonstrates a goal SMARTAR written with the support of the template provided on the intranet. It explains what John will do, where, when, and how, what the indicators of his success are, and when the goal will be reviewed. You can view the template for writing goals smarter in this slide, which is available from the intranet. You may use this template to write the key elements of a goal smarter, such that a specific, observable, measurable action or behavior by the student is identified. The context or conditions for the actions are defined along with the appropriate success measure and the time frame by which the goal will be reviewed. Next, we enter the adjustments, universal or specific, that the student needs to achieve that smarter goal. There's a tip. What adjustments does John need? Identify the strategies from the readiness report that would support John achieve his goals. Does he need a change in the physical environment? For example, personalized workspace? Does he need curriculum adjustments beyond personalized goals, such as goals that are aligned to ABLESA? What instructional adjustments are necessary for John, such as use of iPad and Proloquo to go, or use age-appropriate task materials and topics? The adjustments may be recorded as universal or specific, as curriculum, instructional, and or environmental.
You may refer to the Learning Readiness Report to select relevant adjustments for your student. In this slide, the relevant supporting strategies or adjustments are highlighted. In this slide, you can view the adjustments that are recorded in the format suggested earlier. The instructional adjustments with highlighted text refer to some recommendations from the Learning Readiness Report. Where there is more than one child in a class using ABLESA, a class report may be generated. This assessment is useful in looking at grouping students and making decisions about what is to be taught.
After the appropriate adjustments to curriculum and or instruction and or environment are provided, it is important to review the goal through an ongoing monitoring process. If the student has achieved the goal, enter a date achieved and write a new goal SMARTAR. If the student has not achieved the goal, you may want to reflect on the following key elements of the goal and make appropriate changes, such as efficacy of adjustments provided, the success criteria, and the relevance of the specific action or behavior from the SMARTAR goal. Thank you for engaging with this e-learning module. The following slides will guide you to additional resources from the intranet and contact details for the OnePlan team.